Mark dropped by Nallen, but he recovers. Ball into Cullen. They work it through midfield. Come out wide. And Brewster, who came off the bench as he did last week, takes the mark for Ireland. Brewster's kick, pinpoint. Not going for a lot of distance, but finding a teammate. This is Cullen, who had doubled past. Back to Brewster. So they're sharing the ball around. Brewster short to McDermott. In a hurry, McDermott. Now look at the ground that Cullen has covered. 3 possessions here in this play. Will he go for the score or set it up? Well, I think he went for the score but got nothing.
Yes, I think he attempted something there that was impossible. I think it would have much better across the front of the goal.
Holland can't take possession in midfield. There's the clever soccer tactics. Through Brewster it goes, and further afield by Lockhart. Comes out wide. Cullen's had a magnificent few moments. He was crunched down by Stevens. Play on, says the referee. Kick forward, but Sean Wellman playing in front to take the mark. Tohill, who got an over in the first quarter, been kept quiet pretty well since then. Stevens bounces it over halfway. Lockhart gets the hand pass away. Plenty of time to set up here now for Ireland. The long ball. Wellman again. Oh, he's outnumbered. Well played, though. Gets it to Rowan Smith. Away to Johnson, his Bulldogs teammate. Nathan Buckley on the bounce to Carey. Carey, beautiful kick to Holland in a bit of space. Harvey dashes down towards the goal line. Here's Robert Harvey, who kicked the last goal. He's got a heap of space. He goes for the over. Oh, he missed it. And it's a behind to Harvey. So he's kicked a goal and 2 behinds. Minute and a half remaining in the first half. Magnificent atmosphere and action at Croke Park. Oh, Rowan Smith in front. Takes the mark. In front of Michael Donnellan. On the bounce to Rasciuto, who's been one of Australia's best. Wide he goes to his Crows teammate Ben Hart. Bouncing ball, well handled beautifully by Matty Lloyd. Kick smothered off the boot, play on. Neat's caught behind. Might have interfered. Off the ground, Viney. Lloyd. Off the ground by Stevens. Holland is there. Stevens misses one. It comes to Lloyd. He gets it off the post. Oh, Neat's a chance for a goal, but saved on the line by McConnell. Neat's was only a metre out. How did he save that?
That was absolutely terrific. The reflexes and the reaction. I was sure it was going to be a goal, but McConnell recovered and came back across, and the big man had his body in front of the ball and just made a magnificent stop.
Well, the attacking skills are sensational. The defensive skills have been great. Silvani saved a goal. Finbar McConnell has saved a goal. And the upshot of it is it's 37-36 in favour of Ireland with just 20 seconds to go in the first half. Carey a long ball. Oh, along the line it went. Neat's got a glove to it. McConnell not afraid to leave his goal. Oh, that's brilliant football to Lockhart. The soccer kick off the ground. And the crowd counting down the clock to half-time. Ball taken at halfway by Fallon. Siren for half-time. Australia closer than they were last week at half-time. It's a point the difference, 37-36.
Absolutely magnificent stuff, end to end. Great skill, terrific endeavour. Brilliant save there by McConnell as he came across. I was certain Australia would have scored. But surely it's a magnificent advertisement for magnificent football. A great game between 2 mighty sets of athletes, and I think that we're looking forward to a magnificent second half. Nothing between the teams.
Well, it was a point the difference at the end last week. It's a point the difference at half-time now.
There's a big day in Ireland going on at Croke Park today. Not the same picture it was this time last week. Ireland only 1 point up over Australia at half-time. This time last week, they were 11 up. Well, it certainly has been a spectacular first half. Ireland came out strongly. Australia came right back at them. Let's have a look at some of those highlights.
Moynihan put the ball out for Ireland. Stevens takes it for Australia, puts it right to the goal line. The danger, off the post, Caporelli gets a goal! Unbelievable! Caporelli, who won the game last week for Australia, gets a 6-pointer to level the scores. 20-12. They've got the first 2 scores of this second quarter. McDermott's kick to midfield. Well played, Jim Steins, knocking the ball to the path of Rasciuto. He goes for the 3. That is sensational, Mark Rasciuto. With the outside of his foot. Caporelli gets him. Chance for Australia now. Smith tries to go off the ground. Great straight ahead play by Brewster. Johnson's there for Australia. Gee, this is good stuff. Hope you're enjoying it. Are they having a dip? The ball's flipped out. The hand pass comes on. Surely a goal. Silvani couldn't save that one. A goal to Dupree. He gets it out to Eagleton. Running past is Rasciuto. Port Adelaide and Adelaide Crows combining. Back to Nathan Eagleton. Oh, beautiful kick. And it gets over for 3. Although one of the scoreboards here disagrees with us. Canavan, he works Crawford off the ball. Canavan to the line. Goal! Stevens, Holland almost. It comes to Harvey. Goal! Robert Harvey!
Yes, a great first half. Ireland much more aggressive this week, and Australia certainly have improved their skills. Well, back to our game of Aussie rules, and by this time of the year, most Aussie rules clubs have had their presentation to their best and fairest winners. And let's check the winners from right around the Australian rules clubs. Adelaide, Mark Rasciuto winning his first there. Brisbane, Chris Scott taking his first. For Carlton, Fraser Brown, magnificent result for Fraser Brown, who has played only 7 games in 97, a great season for him this year. Nathan Buckley, his third time winning there at Collingwood, the runner-up in the Brownlow medal this year. Damien Hardwick at Essendon, his first time as a winner. Fremantle yet to name their best and fairest, that will be in November. At Geelong, Peter Riccardi winning from Gary Hocking for the first time. At Hawthorn, Shane Crawford winning his first best and fairest with the Hawks. At Melbourne, Todd Viney, that's his second. He last won in 1993. At North Melbourne, Wayne Carey, his fourth. He's won in 92, 93, 96 and now in 98. At Port Adelaide, it was Adam Kingsley. At Richmond, Nick Daffy. And at St Kilda, Robert Harvey. What a year for him. Brownlow medalist 97 and 98 and his fourth best and fairest for the Saints. At Sydney, Michael O'Loughlin, the 97 All-Australian, winning his first. And at the West Coast Eagles, a great performance by Ben Cousins, the 96 Norwich Rising Star. And of course at the Western Bulldogs, it was none other than Scotty West. Well, we'll have plenty more action coming up from Croke Park. Right now, we'll take a break. Back with more after this. And a great result for Australia at half-time, just 1 point behind Ireland. It is 37-36 as we get set now to go back to Croke Park. They are out on the field and we rejoin our commentators Drew Morford and Dermot Earley.
Thanks, Mark. Yes, welcome back to Croke Park. And if it's the same margin at the end of the game, that'll mean both tests have been decided by a point and we'll get extra time. How close can this series be? Now, Dipper, what's the go for this half?
Well, Drew, we're looking forward to a terrific half. And the message at half-time, Drew?
Well, just to keep it simple, play in front, don't zone off your man. You just got to lead them to the ball rather than following them through the ball. We've also put Spider River, just having a bit of a go with the 2-man forward line, the bigger forward, of course, Spider. And hopefully we can land a couple on his head.
Well, once again, Australia were beaten out of the middle. And in the throw-up situations last week, they hardly lost one. But they're behind today to the Irishman. Off the ground goes Rowan Smith. That was pretty good soccer skills. Ball flipped across by Holland to Camporelli. Outside of his foot is Clever. All Australia here. Harvey takes possession. He's got Rasciuto. And streaming up the ground, he's got Jimmy Steins. Lots of Australians on the forward line. Carey. Oh, man in front. Outmarks him. Huck Fay. Well played. Puts the ball out to Niall Buckley. Beats one, beats another. Across ground, but gave it too much, and Rasciuto marks on his chest. Margin of point in favour of Ireland, 37-36 as we go into the second half. Mark Rasciuto dropping 15 metres short. Harvey punches to the front. Steins beaten to the ball by Og Dupree. Has this boy done some running? Finbar Cullen, the Offaly captain. Cullen, still with Cullen. He goes for a solo run. Stevens gets him by the shorts, which is an illegal tackle, unfortunately, but a great effort by Anthony Stevens. But well played by Cullen. Watch the tackle again. You can do it in Aussie rules, but he can't do it here. Jimmy Steins goes to ground. Smith buffets his way through. Brian Steins is there. The two Steins boys in the area. A shot here for Ireland is saved on the line by Silvani. It came from Dermot McCabe. Silvani's kick. Camporelli tries to knock on, then breaks a tackle. Mark Prosciutto has run brilliantly through midfield. Carey caught behind, and the man in front, Moynihan, outmarks him.
That's twice now, Drew. That's what Lee didn't want. He's forced to play from behind.
So Seamus Moynihan from County Kerry. Couple of contests against Kerry in this half. Ball now with McGeaney. Up further to McDermott. High ball. Nathan Buckley gets back. Can't take the mark. Danger for Australia. The hand pass comes out. Oh! Great opportunity for McGeaney, but he fumbled it when a scoring opportunity beckoned. Quickly the ball into play. Crawford to Johnson. Kicked by Brad Johnson down the line. Holland! The good overhead mark. Fans here love that. Nick Holland, 4 points to his name so far. Across looking for Carey. Ball tapped away from him by Buckley. And out of defence for Ireland. Oh, good mark by Nathan Buckley. Beating Brian Steins. Ireland leading by a point, 37-36. There's been no addition to the score so far. And we've been playing 3 minutes in this third quarter. Run up the ground by Ogdepur, who scored a goal for Ireland in the second quarter. The hand pass in, a slight fumble by Kenny. Beats a man, gets the ball up, gets it back. He might look for six. It's thrown on back to Kenny. Silvani saves. It comes to Buckley. Still not out of trouble. Shot for Ireland is offline, and they got a point out of everything there that was looking like a six-pointer to me. Jarlath Fallon got the score. Ball back in play, back near midfield. Mark Prosciutto has been, in my opinion, Australia's best today. Back to Johnson. Out in space for Robert Harvey. The Rolls Royce gets motoring. And the ball just got over the line for an Ireland ball. Sits up beautifully for Cullen. He goes long. It comes to the front of the danger man, Canavan. Can this boy go? Goes a solo run. Puts the ball back out in front to Fallon. Fallon, goal! Brilliant play by Canavan, capped off by Fallon. Well, Dermot, Canavan is just proving a real problem for Australia.
Canavan would be our most skillful player. I know he's very small, and when the ball is put in high, he's beaten. But when the ball is on the ground and he gets it on his toe, he can move. And he brings other players into the game. And when Fallon got the ball, he kicked a magnificent goal.
Steins wins in the middle down to Prosciutto. The kick goes wide. The crowd cheering. This crowd has built up. The weather's improved. The crowd's improved. There'd be something near 40,000 at Croke Park at the moment, and they're witnessing a sensational display of combined rules in the Coca-Cola International Challenge. This is Glenn Ryan, the Kildare captain. Down the line he goes, very close, and it just gets over the line for an Australian ball. Dipper, bit of a problem down there with Canavan. He's cutting us to pieces.
Absolutely, he was the best player for Ireland in the first half, and as you see, he won't care, really take that mark. Without a couple of opportunities in front of goals, you know, but the defensive line has been terrific in this first 5 minutes of this quarter.
Great mark by Carey and a brilliant kick to Jimmy Steins. Now, Jim, he'd be too far out to look for it under the bar and into the net. He'll be looking to pop this over the black dot for a three-pointer. And he does just that. Well played by Jimmy Steins. Oh, the kick-in goes to Australia. Eagleton off the left. Good-looking kick, but just missed.
This is where Australia has to man up now, Drew, when Finbar is kicking out.
A one-pointer to Australia, but they still have it on the forward line. Stein's making a contest of it. The ball comes back to McConnell. Across to McDermott. His kick to centre field. Smith in front. Might have been taken high. Steins gets the ball. Bounces off a would-be tackler. The handball comes into Donnellan. Donnellan goes long. Danger here. A good punch from in defence by Ben Hart. Ball comes down to Johnson. Rowan Smith it was. Carey. Rasciuto had a bit of a slip. He's given up possession to Ireland. A good forward hand pass goes to Donnellan. Inboard. Back looking for Donnellan. And he gets it in. Great play by Michael Donnellan from Galway. 2 goals this quarter to Ireland. You don't have to kick them. It can come off any part of the body, and he just slung the ball forward into the net.
Yes, some lovely movement by Ireland. Played the ball to one another very well in a very fast running forward movement. That young man was the man of the match in the All-Ireland final. And he's kept his skill and his ability and stuck that one right home.
Well, we believe here it might be 50-40. The screen showing 50-39, but Ireland dominating so far early in the third quarter. It goes to Lockhart. Brian Steins being run down by Wellman. Oh, Ben Hart met the ball at 100 miles an hour. It comes to Rowan Smith. Long for Carey. Carey having trouble with his man this quarter. He's ridden into the ground, but the tackle's high. Free kick, Wayne Carey. Wayne Carey did take a spectacular mark, which set up a three-pointer for Jim Steins. What can he do this time? Steins again. Down to the front to Harvey. Outside of his foot, but he's away to the left. And a one-pointer. So Robert Harvey's kicked a goal and 3 one-pointers. Niall Buckley now for Ireland. Bit of space midfield. Wellman for Australia. Oh, the tackle was a bit rough. And he claims, Jarlath Fallon, that was all right, but he's been free kicked in midfield. It comes to Steins. Steins pokes it up. Farmer, front position. Ball punched away from him from behind. Comes to McDermott, the skipper for Ireland. Back to Ryan. Kicked by Ryan. Is beautifully measured off. Ogdepour. Out to Brian Steins. Great play by Ireland here. And danger. Dermot McCabe flips the ball to Canavan again. Hart the tackler. Here's a chance for Ireland. Off the ground. A save by Silvani. It was going for 6, but it went for 1. Off the ground by Fallon. He must have thought he'd scored a goal. Heroics at both ends. Look at Fallon, number 19. It was heading goalwards until Silvani intervened. Back live at midfield, and the ball's out for an Ireland ball. The crowd loving this, and so are we.
Absolutely, it's a terrific game. Every skill being brought out by each player, and I thought Silvani made a magnificent save a moment ago.
Well, he was high up in the match committee votes last week, Dipper, and I think he might be featuring again. He saved a couple.
He certainly has. He's been under pressure all day, but that last save was just fantastic for a person who's really not used to playing that position.
Buckley takes the ball off the hands, kicks long in the direction of Nick Holland. He's wide out in the right forward pocket. He's got Harvey and he's got Farmer in the goal square. Kick was smothered. It didn't reach the Australians in the attacking position. Great defence by Ireland. McDermott at full stretch. Gets the hand pass away. The run of Cullen. Hasn't he played a game? Out to midfield. Chopped off by Smith. Rowan Smith has been a superb defender. Harvey in short. Oh, the kick. Cullen fumbles. Moynihan to McDermott. Kick by McDermott. Measures it off. Fallon. Buckley with him. Comes to Campbell. That's Todd Viney. The hand pass hits the mark. To Johnson to Campbell. Oh, great mark, Carey. Well, that's what we're used to. And the great man takes a mark right in front, and he'll be looking to convert this to 3 points. Perfect kick by Campbell. So Wayne Carey is scoreless today so far, and that's a way to the right for a point. He scored 4 overs last week, Wayne Carey. Poor kick. Wellman up from defence. Didn't quite have the carry, and saved by Finbar McConnell on the line. 51-42. 9-point lead to Ireland. Great skills. Magnificent play there by Fallon. Well played McCabe to slap the ball infield. But Johnson for Australia across to Campbell. Ryan just split the pack. To McDermott, who was in some doubt about playing, but has been sensational. Kick by McDermott. Oh, magnificent mark to McGeeney. Kieran McGeeney from Armagh will have a shot for a three-pointer here. Breeze might have freshened a fraction, and it's at Ireland's back in this third quarter. They lead by 9 points. And he puts it over for three. Kieran McGeeney. So Australia will have to do a similar thing as to what they did last week and come from behind in the last term. Carey's kick up the ground. Mark taken by Moynihan before the spoil came. Seamus Moynihan from County Kerry to McDermott, who's knocking up getting possessions, the Irish captain. He was married on Friday and he's going out to Australia for his honeymoon. I think he leaves tonight.
That's right.
Some preparation for a test match. Good mark in defence. Carey taking marks on the forward line and back. Silvani up from the goal line. Oops! He's given it up. Oh, he had to fight hard and did it. Crawford floats one to Smith. He's got Buckley. And a bit going on behind the play. A late tackle on Rowan Smith and he didn't like it. Now the police inspector Michael Curley is in there to sort them out. And the ball's got to come back. And it'll be a free kick. It'll be a relayed free up the ground to Nathan Buckley.
Both sides are certainly using the interchange today. Obviously Australia last week used it a lot more, but the Irish are certainly making a lot of moves off the interchange as well.
Carey back behind halfway. Todd Viney, who didn't get a run last week. Here he goes, the Melbourne skipper. Knocked away from Harvey. Neitz hasn't had an impact yet. He had a goal saved when he was about a metre out. Brian Steins goes long. That's gone about 55 metres. Mark dropped by Brad Johnson, but it comes to Hart. Puts it out in the path of Crawford. Support by Buckley. Kick by Nathan Buckley up towards half forward. All Ireland here. Well, they almost contested between each other for the mark. And Finbar Cullen has come down with it. Boy, can he play.
He's the Irish man of the match so far. He's been all over the park. I think he's delivered the ball very well, contested very well, and been available for anything that's happening right across the field.
Great 1-2 play by Tohill, who started on the forward line, now back in defence. Hart for Australia. To Carey. How often do you see Wayne Carey back in the back pocket? A dive. Mark paid, yes. Smith. Oops, Viney stumbles to ground. He had support from Rowan Smith going past. Viney gets it a second time. Neitz caught behind. Good play by Moynihan, who's had a great turn. To Harvey. Punched on for Australia. Campbell gives chase. Well, that's Cullen again. Been fantastic. Across to Anthony Tohill. Perfect disposal. Devaney. You've got to come to him, Australia. Oh, the hand pass was astray. Smith, his hand pass blocked. Viney in support. Back to Crawford. In the third quarter at Croke Park. Ireland 54, Australia 42. Harvey into Lloyd. Bit of space here for Matty Lloyd. He'll look for the three and gets it over the bar for three. And that's his first score today. He also got 4 overs last week. So Carey and Lloyd haven't been getting the output on the forward line of last week. Ball overrun by Hart. Knocked across by Buckley. To Johnson, back to Hart. A dive by Viney, and he takes the mark. Now on the boundary line, Dipper has Jimmy Steins with him.
Thanks very much, Joe. I've got Jimmy with me. What's the pace like on the ground, Jimmy?
Oh, it's fast, very, very fast. Very hard, and the ball's hard to build sometimes. We skip them off the ground.
And how do you think we're playing at the moment? We're wasting our opportunities, you feel?
Yeah, the second quarter we wasted a bit. Now we're bringing the forward, we're not at the targets, and we're dropping balls and we're making a few silly mistakes, kicking the wrong options. But so we're still in it, they're kicking some goals, and that's killing us.
Well, they've kicked 2 goals in this quarter, and they have been killers. Kick by Campbell to the forward line. Tackle by Needs, the ball there. And off the ground, through it goes for a point. So Australia just chipping away, but the 2 goals that Ireland have scored in this quarter by Jarlath Fallon and Michael Donnellan have been killers. Anthony Stevens has it for Australia. 3.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Kick by Stevens, crowded forward line. Harvey gives chase, but second to the ball, comes back to Ryan. Magnificent disposal. Cullen again to Lockhart. Lockhart goes for a run. Sean Lockhart. Kicks, swings away, but still a chance for Ireland. Marsden, intercept by Sean Wellman. Wellman's kick too far for Stevens. It's taken down here by Ogdapur. Needs a great effort, but Lockhart has it for Ireland. Takes it a long way and goes for a 3-pointer. It's on the line. And over it goes for 3. To Sean Lockhart. And this will be a bit of a deficit for Australia. You'd think at 3/4 time they'll have to do the same as they did last week and storm home and hope Ireland get tired in the last term. Harvey goes off the ground. Neitz works his man off the ball. David Neitz, a blind hand pass to Harvey. Neitz might get it back. David Neitz, a chance now. Across the front of goal. Well, it comes off the behind post. It's still alive. Lloyd with great effort. Back to Carey. He looks for a 3-pointer, Wayne Carey. The king. Offline. And no score. Kick quickly in. McGeeney gets the ball up. Lockhart again. He scored the last over for Ireland. He beats the would-be tackler, Brad Johnson. And it's an Ireland ball here. Player tackled before the ball arrived. And the free will go to McGeeney. Minute 30 left on the clock. An 11-point lead to Ireland. Close to 3/4 time. Huge crowd here at Croke Park. About double what we had last week. But the entertainment's been every bit as good. Ireland with the advantage. But they had the advantage last week as well. 3/4 time they led by 13 points, but Australia ran them down. Can they do it again? Shot here by McGeeney. It starts right. It stays right for a point. Dipper, how do you see things now?
Well, the boys have certainly got to hang in. The Irish have certainly played terrific football this quarter. They're playing like a rugby team. They're just moving the ball freely down the field, but we've just got to get some of those 3-pointers in. We've had opportunities.
Drop kick by Silvani. Marked by Carey. Open paddock in front of Wayne Carey. Good chase from behind, but Carey gets it to the forward line. Lloyd caught out of position. Now he's there. Desperate defence by Ireland, and they work it out of defence. That was a chance for Australia. Well played by Carey to punch the ball away. It comes to his North Melbourne teammate Anthony Stevens. He doesn't go for the score. He centres. Holland is there. And Lloyd. Viney's got it. Can he get it over the line?
Want to score, try then.
Well, this will just about be a ball up, a foot out. The clock is running down, and we're out of time. So Ireland saved by the siren at 3/4 time. Well, what a quarter it was for Ireland. They lead by 12. Last week they led by 13. And how close was this? A scramble on the line, and Australia could not get the ball over the line. It's 58-46 in favour of Ireland at 3/4 time.
And Ireland have skipped right back into this competition in the third quarter. They lead 58-46 over Australia. We are set for a thrilling final quarter. This is going to be a boil-over. We go back to Croke Park now, where they are crammed in. And your commentators, Drew Morford and Dermot Earley.
Yes, thanks, Mark. And welcome back, Dermot Earley, who played for County Roscommon, coached them and coached Kildare. What a crowd there is here. Probably over 40,000, and they're absolutely loving it as we get away for the final turn. almost a one-hander to Holland. Australia's going to need to rip some scores on the board in this final term like they did last week. They trailed by 12 here today, whereas last week at the last change they trailed by 13 and got up by a point. In space is Holland. He'll look for a three-pointer here. Nick Holland. Distance about 40 metres. It is a round ball. Slight breeze at his back. Has he given it enough? Yes, over the top. For 3 points to Australia. Nick Holland scored 7 points today for Australia. And the crowd starting to chant for Ireland. There are some Aussie supporters here, but naturally they're being swamped by the locals. Tohill now for Ireland. He's played both ends of the ground in this game. Anthony Tohill, who had some experience playing in Australia. Kicks around the corner, but doesn't get it back round the corner. That's wide to the right and over the line. And so Silvani brings the ball into play. Well, it's got to come back according to referee Coates. He's got a kick from the 13-metre rectangle. He gets it out towards Nick Holland. And Dipper, last quarter, last week all over again.
Yes, Drew, what was the message there at three-quarter time, Jared?
Oh, basically, Dipper, just a big challenge for the group. We did it last week. We've gone back to the same structure, putting Nitsa up forward, and basically we've got a couple of injuries which has hurt our petrol, but we've just got to try and produce another big result like last week.
We've got Wayne Carey now in the middle, training with Steinsy.
Well, certainly he's changing off the bench. We're not sure who he's going to change with at the moment, but he's done a pretty good job, although his kicking has been a little bit astray at times. But we've also put Nathan in and got Rashudo at centre half back in our language.
Rowan Smith for Australia goes long, and they're just desperate to save any score whatsoever, and McConnell wasn't even prepared to let that go through for a point. And we've seen these teams are so close together, you would need to save every single point, wouldn't you, Dermot?
Absolutely. I think that it's so close, and the possibility of Australia coming back now that every single score will count. Last week we saw 1 point was the difference, so everything counts today.
Lee Matthews looking on, looking a bit worried there. The kick towards the goal square. Tempted punch on by Neitz. Pressure by Viney at the back, but Ireland's defence stands up once again and brought out of defence by Ogdepur. Quick hands, the handballing magnificent by Ireland. Moynihan now in possession. Across the ground he goes. Ogdepur. Crawford's had his problems with Peter Canavan today, and Canavan has scored 2 overs and a goal. So he scored a personal 13 points today to be the top scorer on the ground. Australian ball to be taken by Crawford. And a penalty which in Australia would have been a 50-metre penalty. 13 metres here. Crawford takes it. Didn't give it enough. Ireland playing in front with the punch down. Comes to Rashudo. Great hand pass. Holland. Holland spins. Gets round on the left. Hasn't got any distance. They want a mark on the forward line. And did they have some high flyers? Neitz was the highest. McDermott, a hurried ball out of defence. Comes to Donnellan. Quick hand pass by Ogdepur. Ireland on the charge. Steins gets it across. Once again Donnellan for the second time. Donnellan's kick. One out on the forward line is McCabe. The man he has to beat is Hart. Oh, beautifully played by Ben Hart. The backhand, one-hand pickup. Campbell to Smith to Buckley. What about that for a skill, Dermot?
Absolutely brilliant. I thought that the shielding of the ball and the pushing the man away and the pickup was absolutely brilliant, and I think McCabe was Ireland's man of the match last week.
He was.
He has been played out of it this week completely.
And here's a score for Anthony Stevens for Australia. Australia edging up. It's 58-49. 58-50 now. 8 points the margin. Australia there in numbers. Rowan Smith has been superb. Kick by Smith to midfield. Steins got plenty of support in the Australian colours. Gee, they might muck it up. And a free kick is given away. The Irish player beat the park on his own. Fantastic play by Glenn Ryan.
Yeah, Australia had numbers over at that time, and I thought they were going to come away with the ball on the run, but Glenn Ryan did magnificently.
Ogdepur. Brian Steins for Ireland. A slight stumble, but he recovers. They didn't go to him, the Australian defenders. Steins with time, blazes away and gets free. His second over for the game, and a vital score for Ireland. Nathan Buckley now for Australia. He's got some run from Robert Harvey. Here goes the Brownlow medalist. Harvey pops it up for Neitz. Caught behind it, comes to the front. Viney lost it. The ball's still in play as it bounces off the behind post. It comes for Harvey with another chance. Look at the desperation. Free kick to Harvey. Taken off it when he didn't have it. McDermott not happy with the decision. And look at that ball, still alive after bouncing back off the behind post.
Yes, I think a right decision because McDermott went in with his feet first. I don't think you can do that. And the umpire called the correct decision there, and it's a free kick to Australia.
Nathan Buckley has the ball. Not much of a breeze now in the last quarter. Buckley off the left, sprays it. The crowd tells the story. No score.
They've been costly to us today, those set shots, Drew. They've had 4 or 5 opportunities. It makes the score a big difference if you put those 3-pointers in.
Sure does. And the fact that Ireland have scored 4 goals and Australia just 2. Can Australia manage 2 goals in the last term like they did last week? They might need them to get up and win. Wellman. There's 13 minutes remaining at Croke Park, and Ireland lead by 11 points. Last week they led by 19 and were run down. Rashudo clever with the outside of his foot. Buckley. Kicked by Buckley. Eagleton, one of the goal scorers last week. Not such a great kick this time. Up very high. Neitz trying to wrestle his opponents off. Comes to Holland. The hand pass to Harvey. Eagleton a chance, but Glenn Ryan straight ahead play. Ryan's hand pass up the ground to Fallon. A goal for Ireland to nearly kill Australia at this stage. Fallon, beautiful pass. Whistle's gone though.
3 bounces in, you're only allowed to have 2 bounces in a solo.
Good call, Dipper, and good call by Andrew Coates.
Great call.
Comes out to Buckley. Australia setting up. Disappointing kick by Buckley. A fumble by Niall Buckley. So it was Nathan to Niall, and the ball over the line. Australia's ball to be taken by Todd Viney. Great tackle by Viney to take the man and ball over the line. Into the goal square. It comes down the front. Eagleton! Well, he had a chance to get the 6-pointer, but it went over for 3.
Australia's concentration has to be on those 3-pointers. I mean, a goal would be handy, but the 3-pointers certainly count up as well.
Absolutely. I was waiting for the net to shake as the ball was in flight, but it just scraped over the top of the crossbar. Good play by Australia.
But gee, 8 points the margin. I think Australia close enough. 11.5 minutes to go. It was in the last 10 minutes that Australia's fitness told last week. Will it be the same this time?
I think it could work out like that. I think they're coming back into the game. They have whatever little breeze is behind them, and they're moving the ball very well.
So don't go to bed in Australia. There is a lot of football left in this game.
Absolutely.
Australia's free kick, quickly taken by Wellman. Ben Hart's been great. Rashudo, his Crows teammate, has also been great. They played in the last 2 premierships. Can they win a test series for Australia? Kick by Johnson, offline, and a behind. 2 behinds to Brad Johnson today. Look at the run in these players as they get back to pick up their men. Ryan, he's done some spectacular things for Ireland today, playing in the knee brace. The Kildare captain.
Ireland's best player, Peter Kenneman's coming off.
Ryan, good mark by Wellman. Well, Canavan, he's probably done his job. 13 points. It's going to be an Ireland ball here, and they'll be able to clear out of defence. It goes back to the goalkeeper, Finbar McConnell. What would that be, Dipper? Canavan, he wouldn't have run out of legs, would he?
I think that it's a credit to both teams that the first stoppage in play since the game began is just now when Glenn Ryan has got injured. The standard of fitness by both sides has been magnificent, and the movement of the ball and the running has been terrific, and nobody has gone down injured until 10 minutes to go in the game. I think that's a credit to both teams.
Well, changes galore on the interchange bench. Jim Steins has just left the park, replaced by Wayne Carey. Not a bad replacement to come on, Wayne Carey. And also Ryan has left the ground for Ireland. McConnell takes a bounce and kicks it deep into Australia's half. Buckley should have taken the mark. Soccer off the ground by Johnson. Oh, he was held before the ball arrived. Ireland free kick to Cullen against Nathan Eagleton. Cullen has been sensational for Ireland. Short he goes to McDermott. Buckley beats him to the ball and McDermott interferes. Buckley's free. 7 points the margin in favour of Ireland. Margin was 12 at three-quarter time. Middle of the pack, Holland. Eagleton at front. Swamped. And I think this will be thrown up by the referee. Nowhere there for Nathan Eagleton to go. Can he save a magic moment this week like he did last week with a goal that nearly cut a hole in the net? Thrown up. Holland wins it for Australia, but the defence of Ireland stands tall. Moynihan got the first touch and they've worked it out well. Ball held up at half-back by Sean Ogdepur. Over the top to Nallen. Gets round. Ogdepur went past, but the hand pass was behind him. He keeps the ball in. Hart for Australia down the line. Harvey the only chance here. Lockhart slips the tackle, kicks to centre half forward. Rashudo beaten for possession. This is a chance for Ireland. Good tackle by Crawford. Comes to Campbell. Back to Hart and wide to Stevens. They're under pressure, Australia, losing ground in possession. Stevens. Holland! Good mark. He's got Shane Crawford at centre half forward. And Nathan Buckley. He wants the three. Buckley offline. He had time. 5 points today for Nathan Buckley. But Australia just chipping away.
Chipping away. One goal between them. That's all that's between them. One ball into the back of the net and the teams will be level.
Well, that was the situation last week. It was the goal by Neitz which levelled the score and a point by Scott Camporelli which put Australia in front for the only time in the game, a minute from the end, and they won. Hand pass comes out to Moynihan. Moynihan goes down the line. Toehill's hand pass was fantastic. Out wide to Donnellan. Good tackle by Smith. Holding the ball. Great tackle by Rowan Smith. Tackling's a part of the game that you're just not used to. How do you like it?
Absolutely. It's terrific. I think that the definition is absolutely easy to understand. In our game, we don't have that definition, and I think it's a magnificent part of the game.
Ireland out of defence again to Donnellan. Ball flipped on brilliantly by Fay, but taken by Carey for Australia. In space is Nick Holland. What can he do here? He goes for a three, but he's offline again. And if he could be critical, maybe Holland's shots for goal. He scored 8 points. Light breeze. Whatever there is, it is at Australia's back, but it's hardly a factor at this stage. 6.5 minutes remaining. 5 points the difference.
I think Ireland now are trying to slow the game down so their fitness can hang in the next 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, this is what they did about this time last week, Dipper. Is it just trying to preserve the fitness, or are they trying to defend a lead a bit early?
I think they're just trying to defend at the moment, but it's certainly working in their favour at the moment.
Well, possession football's pretty handy, and Brian Steins has it at halfback. Marvellous that his brother Jim is playing his final game of football in Dublin where he started, and Brian's on the opposing side. Kicked by Brian Steins. Deep into Australia's quarter. Rashudo gets back there. Gets some support from Wellman, but the hand pass didn't reach him. Johnson, cross to Silvani. Wayne Carey, last line of defence. Silvani put a man down Toehill. The crowd roared, but play on rules the referee. Camporelli has it for Australia. Nathan Eagleton out wide, but the kick had too much carry for him and has gone out.
I think Dipper was right there a moment ago about slowing the game down. I think Ireland are caught from fitness. I think each time there's a one-to-one contest, Australia are able to win that race for the ball. So the slower they can hold onto the ball, or the slower they can make the game, the better it is for them.
The voice of Dermot Early, Kildare coach. Now we go down to Dipper.
Now, Drew, I'm just going to say on Jimmy, I'll just pick it at Jimmy, even he mentions the fact that they're trying to slow the game down so they can hang in there the next 4 or 5 minutes, as Dermot just mentioned then.
Well, it's 5 points the margin. Ireland in front, but Australia coming back hard. Kick by Carey. Great mark in defence. A nest of Australian players there, but it was picked out in defence by Nallen. Puts it wide to his skipper McDermott, who's played magnificently. Off the ground, McDermott. Rashudo has been great for Australia, but this time he missed with that one. Knocked forward for Ireland, and a chance for, that was Canavan, who's back on the ground. Tackled by Hart, and the ball to the line, and it'll be Australia's ball in defence. 4 1/4 minutes left. Campbell. Holland. So will Australia's fitness, and their fitness regimen that started way back in about last October, will it count in the last 4 or 5 minutes? Crawford is there. It comes off hands beautifully to Nallen, and out of defence McDermott. Steins back on the park for Australia. A clever tap on by Brian Steins. Big chance for Ireland. Fallon runs it all the way. Canavan's there. Fallon follows up and puts it over for 3. A cruncher for Ireland. Jarlath Fallon with help by Canavan. And now Australia with it all to do. 3.5 minutes left. Look at Fallon. He didn't go for the goal. He went for the 3-pointer, which could be the clincher. Back come Australia again. Anthony Stevens. Kick of a tired man. It looked to me. It comes to the front. Crawford. Stevens missed it. Ireland have it again. Tohill the hand pass. Brian Steins into open country. That'll go out and be an Australian ball. Margin 8 points. So Australia, well, they'll need 3 overs or somehow get a goal plus something. Hart. It's in the hands of Jimmy Steins, who set up their last goal last week. Big leap down there in the pack by Neitz. Ireland ball. A knee used in the marking contest is some sort of a signal that Michael Curley is giving here, but it is an Ireland ball. Irish player down injured, and maybe here a chance for a breather for players from both teams.
Absolutely, and they need a breather because the pace has been absolutely terrific, and the speed at which the ball gets back into play after you put it into the net or over the bar or out of play, there is no stoppage whatsoever. And as I said a while ago, the fitness has been magnificent.
Well, here's McConnell, the goalkeeper, well up the ground. Goal line unmarked, so he doesn't want to turn the ball over here. Kick by McConnell to halfway. Buckley leaves it for Smith. Buckley has it now to Steins. He is a beautiful kicker of the round ball, but it's gone straight to Ireland. The mark taken by Moynihan. Oh, tied kick by Moynihan. Camporelli marks for Australia. Across the ground he goes. Wellman on the forward line. Crawford is there. He started in the back pocket, Shane Crawford. It comes to Carey. Offline and no score. 64 to 56, under 2 minutes left. It would have to be another miracle of huge proportions for Australia to get up and win from here. Last week was some sort of a miracle. Can they do it again? The crowd, I think, is over 40,000 here. Sensational atmosphere. McConnell for Ireland. A juggle, no mark. It goes Ireland's way. It comes to Fallon, who's been Ireland's leading scorer. He's got it again. Dishes out the hand pass. What a tackle by Ben Hart. Canavan, the danger man. This could clinch it. Saved by Silvani, but it goes over for 3, and surely that's the winner for Ireland. Well, Silvani saved the 6-pointer, but conceded 3.
Terrific skill by Canavan. Kept the ball on the ground, soccer style. Chipped it forward for the net, but Silvani did mighty.
Chance for Holland. Went without the ball. Ireland have finished well today, but here's Scott Camporelli. Oh, his kick on the turn is offline, and as Dipper mentioned, kicks like that have cost Australia the game. But many of them have been set shots when not under the pressure that Scott Camporelli was under there. 35 seconds left, 67 to 56. Ireland in front of Australia. What a game. And I think the fans know the result now. The atmosphere sensational at Croke Park. Back to halfway. Knocked forward by Campbell. It comes to Rasciuto. In a bit of space is Jimmy Steins. Jim goes long. Ireland back there. A fumble by Tohill. The crowd counting the clock down. Robert Harvey for Australia. Offline. That'll be the last shot. It's all over. Ireland have defeated Australia. 67 to 56. What a game. And a ground invasion by the spectators. The amateurs from Ireland have beaten the pros from Australia in an absolute rip slaughter. And Jim Steins and Brian Steins, two brothers here, are swapping Guernseys at the end of the game.
Absolutely wonderful. I think that the atmosphere here was brilliant in the last quarter. Now when the result is known and the players run together, the Steins brothers embraced, talked to one another, changed jerseys. And I think that that's a magnificent gesture and a magnificent end to two mighty games over the last week.
Sure, the skill and passion and commitment today, we expected of them. Maybe the fact that we were sort of written off too, it helped us a bit. Our lads were very brave and they kept going to the end. Well organised and disciplined, and I think that's what's won the day for us.
And tactically, I think the week actually, you learned a lot from it.
Well, we certainly learned a lot in the week, and we did a lot of studying of the thing, and we worked very hard on that aspect of it. We got a bit of criticised last Sunday for our tactical approach. I think we learned in the week.
Well done and congratulations on winning the series.
Well, we'll be back at Croke Park for the presentation. Colm O'Rourke, the coach of Ireland, being interviewed. We'll be back for the presentation after a short break.
Well, they came right back at Australia and held on. Ireland victorious by 11 points, 67 to 56. A brilliant performance there in the last quarter. They really held out a pretty gallant attack there by Australia. Well, the crowds are gathering for presentations at Croke Park, and we go back to Drew and Dermot.
Thank you, Mark. And the presentation being made to the jubilant Irish players. A fantastic victory. They had 3 scoring shots in the last quarter for 3 overs. Australia had 6 for 2 overs and 4 behinds. It proved a bit costly, Australia's inaccuracy in the last quarter. Look at a portion of this crowd here who are here to celebrate an Ireland victory over the pros from Australia.
Coca-Cola International Rules Football. Sincerest gratitude to Australia and to Ireland. We have witnessed on these hallowed grounds on 2 successive Sundays 2 of the finest sets of exponents of 2 of the greatest field games in the world, Australian rules football and Gaelic football. And we sincerely appreciate those performances. Today has been Ireland's Day. It's an historic occasion, the first occasion that the host team has ever won the International Rules Football Series. Congratulations, Cógáideachas the Éireann. We thank sincerely the AFL, its Chief Executive Wayne Jackson, and all of the visiting officials and the players for allowing us to reenact our historic links with Australian rules football. We thank them for the sporting manner in which they have played the games over 2 successive Sundays, and it augurs so well for our future links into the new millennium. Gora míle maithagibh a bhaintear na hastráile. I wish to thank sincerely Coca-Cola, represented by Deputy Managing Director Alfie Lydon, for their commitment and their vision and support to the International Rules Football Series. Thank you, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola are also team sponsors of the Australian team, and we wish to thank First Active as team sponsors of the Irish team, their first partnership with us and come on low-class scale. Thank you, First Active. I wish to thank also Supermax, Pat McDonough of Supermax, as sponsors of the match ball, a new initiative in the history of the association. Sincerest gratitude to our two referees, to Michael Curley of Ireland and to Andrew Coates of Australia, and their match officials, Eamon Morris and Gay McCabe. We thank you sincerely for your wonderful work over 2 Sundays. Finally, on this historic occasion, and as we look forward to our return visits of the juniors and the seniors to Australia in '99, it gives me great pleasure to present the Coca-Cola International Rules Series trophy to Irish captain as a wedding present to John and Michelle as we send them off to Australia. John McDermott.
All the fellas from 4 corners of the country of Ireland. They're a great bunch of lads and a privilege to represent them here. I'd like to thank the sponsors of the series, Coca-Cola, and the sponsors of our jersey, First Active. I think any of the people that ridiculed these compromise games had their answer today and last Sunday. I'd like to thank all the backroom staff of the Ireland team. I won't mention them by name, but they know who they are. Without them, it wouldn't be possible here today. But there's 3 men I want to thank especially. That's John O'Keefe, Mickey Byrne, and especially Colin O'Rourke. I'd like to thank the Australian team, Wayne Carey as their captain. They're great ambassadors for their country, and it was a great series to play. I think they deserve 3 cheers. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Urme Magam.
There for the Irish and Irish captain. We'll go to a break and be back with more shortly. So a big result for Ireland, an 11-point win, 67-56. Let's catch up now with Australian coach Lee Matthews. He's with Irish interviewer Marty Morrissey.
A lot better. They seem to have learned a lot since last Sunday.
Well, it was quicker than us, I thought. I mean, as a team, I thought we probably had a squad that was a few too many big fellas in it, but I thought they showed us up for leg speed, certainly on the surge out of defence, and I think our natural instincts to kick the ball a long way went against us under the pressure of this kind of game, because they tend to be able to get their man back and then run it out of defence, and that their speed on the surge really kept us off balance.
There was a huge response in terms of the attendance here, great excitement. Is there a future now, do you think?
Well, I'm sure everyone who saw last week's game and this week's game would think this is an afternoon worth spending, because I think it is a very exciting game, no doubt about that. As I said, a lot over this last couple of weeks. It gives the players the ability to represent their country, but I think it gives the fans an enthralling game of football to watch.
Well, we look forward to seeing you down under, and thank you very much, and well done today. Back to you, Michael.
Yes, it certainly was a great spectacle to watch. And don't forget, back home, the national draft coming up from Melbourne Park Sunday, November 1st at 12 noon. Don't forget to check your local guides on that one. Well, we certainly have seen a magnificent spectacle. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
This has been a 7 Sports production.